Welcome again. This is episode 3 of Arfin Talks. I am Dan Arfin. I got another umpiring story from last night, although thankfully this one is not quite as arduous as the last one. This time I was working with a teenager, a 17-year-old kid who's been umpiring already for a couple of years. He's getting paid more than I am. And it was nice to get to be the older guy. I'm only 33, but usually I'm working with umpires who are much older than me. Guys who are like in their middle aged and just kind of really grizzled. And, this time I got to work with a kid. And it was really fun working with him because, in between innings when we would talk, he was picking my brain constantly the whole game. He asked me so many questions. It started out with just questions about umpiring and my previous experience, but I guess he got to see that, I didn't mind answering any of his questions. I didn't mind talking to him, so he proceeded to end up asking me questions about my life, all kinds of questions about my life. And, I didn't mind talking to him. He was just curious. A lot of us are curious. We talk to people and we like trying to talk to people, but a lot of times we try to talk and people either don't want to talk or it's not really a conversation because they're just not listening to anything you're saying. And that wasn't going on between me and him. And as I'm talking to him, I'm just remembering what was I like when I was 17. And why I shouldn't dismiss this kid at all because he's 17, because it's important to remember. It's like, what did you think of yourself at that age? When I was 17, it's like, okay, it's like, all right, legally I'm not an adult, but like I'm an adult. It's like I wanted to be taken seriously. It's like I thought I had real ideas. And that's just all he thinks. So I'm just going to treat him the way I wanted to be treated back then. Yeah, we meet a lot of adults who kind of just sort of dismissively talk to us. They sort of prejudge us before we even said anything. They think, oh, like your life hasn't even started. You're this age. What do you know? And it's like, that's not the point. It's got nothing to do with anything. Because every person you meet is teaching you something. They're teaching you something that nobody else could teach you. And just what I'm learning from this kid is just kind of like a reminder that, when you're young, it's like, you're not, you could still have plenty of issues that still might already be, bothering you a bit. But at that age, certainly a whole lot less than if he was like 27 or 37. The older you get without facing your issues, the more it just weighs you down, the more it just disconnects you from everybody else, because how can you connect to other people if you're not connecting with yourself? And being at the age he is, it's like, his slate is so much cleaner, it's so much fresher that there's nothing holding him back from anything. And it's just kind of like reminding you to just be that way yourself. It's like whatever you thinking or want to do or want to ask, like just go ahead and ask it. It's like, don't worry about what people say or think of you. Just put yourself out there, see what you can get, see what you'll find. He was just seeing what he could find. Yeah, the more he asked me and the more I answered him, the more he saw he could ask. So, just enjoyed working with him, and it's just the whole experience is really just kind of a reminder to just like, it's just, don't forget how you thought of yourself when you were a certain age. And everybody you meet, that's what they want too, because they're going to teach you. Doesn't matter how old they are. Everybody's your teacher. So keep your learning ears open.